Hello, friends. If you're planning to bring your brother or sister to the United States, if you're waiting to reunite with your spouse, or if you're an adult child of a U.S. citizen hoping your turn is coming soon, you need to pay very close attention to what I'm about to share with you today because the reality is the waiting times are about to get longer. Not just a little longer, but significantly longer in the coming months. And most people don't even realize what's happening behind the scenes. Right now, the immigration system is shifting in a way that is creating two completely different experiences depending on where you are. If you're outside the United States, stuck waiting for your interview, your timeline is being delayed more than ever before. But if you're already inside the United States in legal status, you might actually have an advantage. In this video, I'm going to break everything down for you in a simple and clear way. I'll explain what's really going on with the April 2026 Visa Bulletin, what the actual timelines look like for each family category, and most importantly, what you can do right now to put yourself in a better position. So make sure you stay with me until the end, because there are a few key insights that could completely change your strategy. Welcome back to Global Entry News. My name is Edward, and I've been closely following U.S. immigration trends, policies, and real-world case outcomes for years. My goal here is simple: to give you honest, practical, and up-to-date information so you can make smarter decisions for your future. Let's start with something very important that a lot of people misunderstand: the Visa Bulletin. Right now, the Visa Bulletin is giving us two different charts. One is called the Final Action Dates chart. This is the one that actually determines when a green card can be issued. In simple terms, this is the finish line. The second chart is called the Dates for Filing. This chart is extremely important if you're already inside the United States, because it tells you when you can apply for adjustment of status, even if your green card isn't ready yet. And once you apply, you can get a work permit and legally stay while your case is pending. Now here's where things get interesting. Because of visa backlogs, travel restrictions, and processing slowdowns at U.S. embassies around the world, fewer visas are being issued overseas. That means more visa numbers are effectively being used inside the United States. And because of that, USCIS is moving faster for people already in the country. This is why in April 2026, we saw something very important happen. The F2A category, which includes spouses and children of green card holders, became current. That means if your spouse is already inside the United States in legal status, you can file for adjustment of status right now. That's a huge opportunity. But at the same time, it creates a divide. People outside the U.S. are waiting longer, while people inside the U.S. are getting faster access to filing and benefits. So what we're seeing right now is almost like two different immigration systems happening at the same time. Now, before we go into each category, let me quickly explain the overall process so everything makes sense. Every family-based case starts with an I-130 petition. This is filed with USCIS. It doesn't matter if it's for a spouse, a child, or a sibling. The process always starts here. For a U.S. citizen sponsoring a spouse, the I-130 usually takes around a year. But for categories like siblings or adult children, it can take anywhere from 2 to 4 years just to get approved. But here's the thing: approval of the I-130 is just the beginning. After that, your case goes into the Visa Bulletin system, and that's where the real waiting starts. And the reason for that is simple. There are limited visa numbers available every year. So even if your petition is approved, you still have to wait for your priority date to become current. Right now, there are hundreds of thousands of cases sitting at the National Visa Center, waiting for interviews. In fact, over 280,000 cases are currently stuck there. And even when interviews are scheduled, many applicants are not getting their visas immediately due to administrative processing or pauses, so the backlog keeps growing. Now let's break down each category so you understand exactly where you stand. Let's start with the F1 category, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. As of April 2026, the average wait time is about 9 to 10 years. And if you're from countries like Mexico or the Philippines, you can easily add another 6 to 7 years on top of that. So realistically, you could be looking at 15 years or more. The I-130 itself might take around 15 months, but after that, the long wait begins. And based on current trends, after mid-2026, we expect these timelines to increase even more, possibly adding another year to the total wait time. Now let's talk about F2A, one of the most important categories right now. This includes spouses and children under 21 of green card holders. Typically, the I-130 takes around 16 to 17 months. If the spouse is overseas, the total process could take about 2 to 3 years. But here's the key advantage right now. If your spouse is already inside the United States, on a student visa, work visa, or any legal status, you can file for adjustment of status immediately. That means you can stay together, get a work permit, and avoid long separation. This is one of the biggest opportunities we've seen in recent years. However, if your spouse is outside the U.S., expect delays to increase after summer 2026. We are predicting an additional 6 to 7 months of waiting, possibly pushing total timelines closer to 3 years or more, so planning becomes very important. Now moving to the F3 category, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. This is where things get much tougher. The I-130 takes about 2 to 3 years, and after that, the wait time for a visa is currently over 12 years. If you're from Mexico or the Philippines, that could go up to 17 years or more. That's a very long time. This is why many applicants in this category start looking for alternative options, like employment-based visas, national interest waivers, or other self-petitions, because relying only on a family petition in this category can be very limiting. Finally, let's talk about F4, brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. This is the longest wait of all. The I-130 alone can take around 3 years. And after that, you're looking at a wait time of 16 to 24 years, depending on your country. Yes, that's 2 decades. For most people, this is not a practical immigration plan by itself. It's more like a backup, something you keep in place while exploring faster options. Now here's something very important you need to understand about what's coming next. After June 2026, we expect further delays across multiple categories. Why? Because unless visa issuance at U.S. embassies increases, more pressure will continue to build on the system. If people are not receiving visas abroad, those visa numbers are not being used efficiently, and the system becomes unbalanced. So what might happen is that the government could start adjusting the dates for filing, allowing more people inside the U.S. to apply earlier. That means, again, being physically present in the United States could become even more valuable. Now, I want to be very clear about something. If you have a chance to legally enter the United States, whether as a student, a worker, or another valid visa, and you already have a family petition filed or about to be filed, you should seriously consider that option, because being inside the U.S. could give you access to faster filing, work authorization, and more flexibility. But of course, everything must be done legally and strategically. Another important point, if you already have an interview scheduled at a U.S. embassy, you must attend it. Even if there are delays or administrative processing issues, skipping your interview can create bigger problems. If your visa is paused temporarily, once the issue is resolved, your visa can still be issued. So always follow through with your appointments. At the end of the day, the immigration system right now is complicated, slow, and constantly changing. But if you understand how it works, and if you plan ahead, you can still find opportunities. The key is not just waiting, but thinking strategically. Ask yourself, are there other options available to you? Can you study in the US? Can you qualify for a work visa? Can you apply for a self-petition? Because in many cases, the people who succeed are the ones who don't rely on just one path. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What category are you in right now? How long have you been waiting? What's your biggest concern? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Because here on Global Entry News, we keep you informed, prepared, and one step ahead. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.